What's up, everybody? I feel like we just left this party, but we're back. It's reView. I am PLD. That's the go. And we are covering Birth Pangs, the 7th episode of the 2nd season. We are almost there. We are almost there. It's like we're giving birth ourselves. We are almost there.
Ew.
The pain we're going through. I just made go leave her chair. I might have to do this solo now. I might have to. We'll have to see. I'm see if she goes. Oh, wait, there she's back. She's a little back.
I don't know, PLD. That was bad.
I went with it. It floated in my mind. I felt the pain. I felt the contractions. It felt like maybe we are having birth.
You want me to leave again? I'll go.
I did something that V couldn't even do. I made you walk away. Well,
the episodes take me so long to watch.
Let me ask, how long does it take you to watch an episode? I'm kind of curious because I know it takes you a while.
It depends how bored I get. Like if I'm watching a 90-minute movie, for instance, even if I like it, I'm just someone who will pause and like absorb.
Right.
So, and if I'm taking notes, it could be anywhere from 3 to 4 hours.
Wow. Okay.
I do a deep study.
Dedicated to your craft. I'll give you that. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of the pause.
Talk about Kroll.
Oh, intrigued on that one. I'm very intrigued on that one. So yeah, I've been talking about this off air recently with you. I've had very little time to watch things recently. I've been watching mostly for the podcast. So, I have a job, 3 kids, wife. I have like 3 other side gigs I'm doing, and I have like 5 podcasts to do. So basically, almost like I'm only watching just stuff for the podcast, generally speaking. And even then, like I just was watching Captain America: The First Avenger again for my rewatch of the MCU with PJ for our Patreon show. And it took me like a day and a half to do. I watched like a half an hour, but I had to pause it, walk away. I had to come back like the next day and do more of it just because I had to make sure I'd get it in because I'm recording it on Tuesday. And I wasn't sure if I was going to have actually an hour and a half or 2 hours or 2 hours plus whatever it was to actually sit and watch the whole thing. So I've been doing little bits and chunks and pieces. Happy to say I finished today. So I'm good to go for Tuesday's recording. But yeah, it's just life is just tough at this point as far as finding time. I did find time. I did find time this weekend to go see Sinners in the theater.
Everyone was talking about that.
Everyone was, and I will say I did. It was not overhyped for me. I was a little scared it was going to be overhyped because everyone says how much they love it. I will say, I don't know, maybe your miles will vary, but it is a very well done piece, I believe. In some of the sequences, there's a musical fusion sequence alone, which was worth the price of admission. And that's coming from someone who is not like, how do I say this? Because like everybody loves Ryan Coogler. A lot of people say Coogler's like this phenomenal director. They're putting him up there as these like top-notch guys. I am not quite there yet. I have not seen Fruitvale Station. I know it's a bad cinephile, so I don't know. Maybe I've heard is great. I did love Creed as a Rocky guy. I think Creed was one of my favorite Rocky movies of the entire of all the franchise. I was not fully on board with Black Panther like everybody else was. I was less on board with Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but Sinners is the one for me. I think that's the one I'm like, okay, maybe he is a really talented filmmaker. So. I'm thinking you're not a Coogler person either.
It's just so dramatic and serious.
Okay. Oh, I'm trying to find little boxes I can check you off in. Okay, so too serious and dramatic. Okay, that makes sense in who you are. You like things a little more.
There were some outliers, but for the most part.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I will have you figured out one day. I'm still trying. You're like, I don't even know how to describe you. Computer. I'm trying to figure out how it works. Where the synapses are firing. What you're recalling. What you're coming to. I don't know. I'll get there. You're a lab experiment, Lego. You're a lab experiment for me. Speaking of lab experiments, birth pangs. Here you go. We open up with a lab experiment.
Well, I wrote, why is Tyler in a dentist outfit?
That is a great question. All pilots must take a final physical examination, and that physical examination requires them to shave his head at some point, and I'm not sure what physical requires that. Maybe I'm wrong with that. I could be wrong with that, but that just kind of threw me like that would be a sign that there might be something a little more going on than Tyler should be aware of. But no, we're just gonna get going from like skater boy
He went from
Tyler.
a decently looking young guy to bleh, potato.
Potato. Okay, fair enough.
But also, I think it's because you need to have a good personality if you're gonna have that haircut.
And he does not.
No.
No.
Like, he's giving fully in the cult now.
And
That's not cute.
the funny bit about that to me is if this was a better written show, I would think, are they trying to have like the double switch on us? The old Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin double switch. If you're not a wrestling fan, you might not get the reference, but if you aren't, real quick, back in the day, Bret Hart was the good guy, Stone Cold was the bad guy. They had a match at WrestleMania, and it was one of the greatest matches of all time because they were able to sell such a great storyline that they were able to switch sides. Bret Hart became the heel, and Stone Cold became the good guy really organically over the top of the match. So by the end of the match, people were rooting for Stone Cold and against Bret Hart. And it was a masterful class of psychology when the kind of stuff that when wrestling is good, it's really good that way, storytelling wise. That being said, I think that's what they might be trying to do here, having Lisa become more human and Tyler become more alien. Because this whole episode, Tyler's like not dealing with stuff, and he tells Lisa, I don't want to feel anymore. He's rejecting anything Lisa has to say to become a pilot of all things. And I guess it could be something as simple as his father died, and they're going to try to show this little boy is crying about that. But like, I don't know. Are they trying to do the double switch, or am I just completely giving them way too much credit?
I mean, they're going through the natural progression of their story arc, wherein he's definitely joining the side of the visitors, and she is decidedly leaving it.
Right.
I honestly don't know where that's going to go in terms of their relationship. I think that he ultimately will choose them over her, and she will choose him over, I don't know, whatever object will be placed there. Raphael, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
There it is. I knew there was going to be a
He's the one who wears the red bandana. I just looked it up. He's well known for his physical strength and being a little bit more aggressive. And he gets in fights with Leonardo a lot.
Well, actually, that technically they all had red bandanas when they first began.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when they started to differentiate.
The Nickelodeon
Because
kids era.
whoever said they should all have red bandanas was dumb. Give them different colors. We're not gonna know who's who.
The weapons make it clear. He has a sai, it's Raphael. Does the nunchucks, it's Michelangelo. The bow staff is Donatello, and the big sword, the katana, is Leonardo. This is becoming a new bit now. How can I get you to walk away? All right, fair enough. I didn't quite make it there, but I was going on the same
But
journey.
I will say, considering that Lisa is supposedly some sort of reptile alien, breeding with a turtle boy does seem like a better fit.
I like where you're going there. I do like where you're going there. What I don't like about this whole Raphael thing is, I mean, we have spent a full season, and now this is the 7th episode of the 2nd season. Tyler is the key to their plans. Tyler is the key to their breeding.
Dumb.
To propagate their species.
So dumb.
And yeah, that's dumb. But if that is the case, and you're banking on that for a long time, you're implying to me that there's something really special about Tyler that's can't be found anywhere else. Now you're telling me there are backups. And not only are there backups, but this Raphael supposedly fits all of the needs even better than Tyler. So Raphael is actually a better fit
Well, didn't
than
they
Tyler.
say that there were 29 boys, the gynecologist or whomever
Yes, really good.
treated?
Yes.
And I'm assuming that's just in their local area. So, like, globally, we don't know how many 18-year-old boys fit the bill.
Maybe, but it just
And I
eh,
also
is that the case? I'm not even sure that's the case because I don't think they were trying to do something exotic by because Raphael was definitely had like an accent. I don't know if they were trying to say he was from a different like grouping of people, a different country kind of thing. I don't know if it's 29 globally and they just happen to get Raphael, who does still speak English, but like I don't know what they're trying to do with it, to be honest with you. Like, are they trying to? Because I felt like this is the kind of show that would make a bad choice in trying to like, well, we're gonna say this is global. We're gonna make our man from another country just have an accent and then we're good. And like that's the only differentiation of it. Should it be from the same group? Yes, but I don't know if they're smart enough to do that. I feel like this is a weird choice for them. And I don't like the fact that I'm questioning that, but here we are. But either way, if Raphael is that perfect for them, then why are we even dealing with Tyler anymore? Even when they find out he's perfect, like Anna, the way they've like written Anna so far has been like cold, emotionless, whatever. We have her spurts of anger and revenge. That's her touch with the human emotion. When it comes to this kind of stuff, if she has a better candidate, Tyler would be out the door. Why are we still wasting time with Tyler? Because Lisa started with Tyler? Like, this seems kind of
it
strange.
doesn't make any sense. And also, I don't like that, like, Tyler and Lisa naturally met one another rather than it being orchestrated.
Right. I see. The funny thing about that is, I think we're supposed to think that it was orchestrated, but they just did a poor job like showing it.
I did not get that
Right.
whatsoever.
I don't think I did either. But like, I think thinking about it back, I'm like, because she met him at the, if I remember correctly, this is back in season one, is at the Visitor Friends Center or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like, was she supposedly directed down there to find Tyler, who they were gonna
I
like?
don't think that they had any idea who Tyler was and that he was
Maybe.
one of the however many boys, at least 29 boys.
Right. I don't know either, but I kind of feel like this was. I agree with you that it should have been orchestrated. It absolutely should have been orchestrated. And but I almost feel like they think we are going to just see that it was, and we obviously weren't going to, because it's poor writing again. Shocker, as we know. Let's see. Oh, Joshua is back. We do get more scenes with Joshua finally. I don't know why he had left again. Like it feels like again, like we had Thomas, we had this other like unnamed medical guy. Like if Joshua's there, why aren't we using him?
No,
It,
Joshua was no, I'm sorry, not Joshua. Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind. I'm getting him confused with someone else. So, it, big fan of soaps. A lot of times, soaps will have a pretty low budget, so they'll only be able to use a certain number of characters
okay,
per episode. So, like, if you're writing an episode, then you can use those 5 characters. But like that other character is really important, but you don't have room for them in the budget, so you just talk about them off and they're off screen, and it's kind of funny. It kind of reminds me of that.
yeah, I get the problem I have with it though is like that there was actually other unnamed medical people. But I guess unnamed is less budget that way. I guess, so you can just do it that way. I guess that makes sense.
Still
It's
dumb.
bothering, but it is dumb. It is very dumb, but okay. So I just hate the Raphael bit altogether. There's nothing about the Raphael storyline that even like remotely even interests me. I'm kind of like, okay. Because at the end of the day, we also know that you're introducing this Raphael as his backup, but we know it's not going to work because Tyler is one of our leads of our show. And Tyler won't. So it never once felt like Raphael was going to be any kind of alternative. So what's the purpose of having him in this show at this point? I guess is it supposed to be that we're going to show that Lisa has human emotions and loves Tyler? Is that what we're doing here? But
I just thought of a really nitpicky thing
okay.
to what you were saying. Uh, It's just dumb waste of time. But sorry to sidetrack us. Ha
No,
ha.
it's all right.
Okay, so we know that they're missing half their DNA, right?
Right.
And we know they target the Y chromosome.
Right.
That's what they said. But we know that the DNA evidence showed that Tyler wasn't biologically related to his father, who is the only person he could have gotten a fucking Y chromosome from. So clearly he's not missing
A Y chromosome.
DNA evidence that shows he is related to him.
I,
Thank you for your time.
we're going to science the shit out of this thing. Okay. Fair enough.
Sometimes I look at my notes and I just realize things and I just...
Boom. Flip the table. Throw it away. I get it. Okay.
See, this is why health class is important. Go to 9th grade basic science.
How can you write an advanced alien species whose science is more advanced than us if you're not even writing 6th grade, 7th grade science? Good question. That's a great question.
And I can say the same thing to whoever wrote the script for Man of Steel. All right, I've taken my shot. We can move on.
We're not going to discuss Man of Steel. I'm not going to do it with you right now. I'm not going to do that with you.
Why don't I get you to leave your chair?
I will not have you attack me like that. I worry on the heels on that one, but okay. Back off the ship. We're going to go back more towards the beginning of the episode again. For the other side of things, we have Hobbs splitting Jack crash with them. Odd couple coming up, I guess. It's almost would be a fun pair if I actually cared about either of them at this point. But I don't, so I don't care about the relationship. But the necessary part that comes in is that we see Fierro coming, who Fierro is SMG's lead guy.
Prince of Winky Country.
He's
dancing through life, and we're here for it. Now I just want to talk about Wicked.
Didn't hear him singing, but okay.
You can't name him Fierro and expect me not to make a Wicked reference.
That's fair. I guess that's fair. That's fair.
The law of names.
So Erica gives Fierro their home address, and Kyle's mad about that. But that's, we don't need to worry about that. That's fine.
Dog in this show is so bad.
If we need an army. So we did have Sexy Science Guy. He made an appearance, so he was there for you.
Science Man.
Sorry, Science Man. Sorry.
And he's talking with the global scientific community.
I love that.
Global scientific community.
The GSC.
How did I not know?
You have not passed the 9th grade science yourself, or else you'd be a part of the GSC. Global
I was just too truant. I was there on DNA Day and then absent the rest.
You had Lamageddon to watch.
Indeed, I did.
You did.
And I appreciate that you think I was in high school when that came out. Take the compliment.
I'm always about complimenting you. I like to boost up my partners, my co-hosts. So we decide we have to meet with Eli's lieutenants, and we have to meet in Bangkok. So all of a sudden, we're going to spend, I don't know, a very short amount of time hopping over to Bangkok.
They went to Bangkok.
They went to Bangkok.
Were they there for one night?
It feels like it. It feels like they went from New York City to Bangkok.
Did it make a hard man humble? I'm very proud of myself. I shouldn't be.
It might have made a humble man hard at this point. I don't know. It's just...
Well, whichever works.
I don't remember. I don't know because I don't know how it went. I don't know if they made it back by the end of the episode or not. I don't even remember, and I don't care. But it just, that's time. And I don't care about time stuff usually. Like, I know a lot of people had like this big disparaging thing about Game of Thrones, where all of a sudden, like, the end of the season, they were making very long journeys very quickly. But if you really are not liking the show, then it becomes more obvious. Like, if you like the show, you don't really care. You're kind of like, okay, whatever.
I think I'm usually okay with that kind of stuff, unless it's like, it's interesting when a show will have a scene that's happening like in real time, and it'll be cut with scenes that are happening over a
Obviously.
period of time,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
just like, why would you do that?
Yeah, it doesn't work. That
You
doesn't
gotta
work.
think about that. But other than that, I'm generally okay with stuff.
So yeah, they met in Bangkok. And I gotta say, it seems like every episode now, there's at least one line of dialogue that just makes me want to flip my
Which
lid.
one was it for you? Because I did write, oh my god, the dialogue.
Go ahead. I'm curious to hear yours first now.
Okay. So Prince Virio
Okay, Prince
meets
Pharaoh.
with some other people.
Mhm.
And I guess he was Sexy Mummy Guy's SMG's second in command. And Erica said, she's prepared to assume command, as was Eli's last wish. These are my top lieutenants. I'm like, girl, why? Just stop. Just stop. It does not make you sound powerful. It just makes you sound dumb.
She doesn't have lieutenants. She has no lieutenants. There's no
You're
lieutenants.
the fifth column is not even 5 people.
Right. Not exactly at this point. It's a traitor. It's Kyle the traitor. It's a newscaster who couldn't strike fear in a spider, let alone like an alien, and a priest with who's basically partially a conscientious objector. That's your fifth column right there. Big time battle heroes there.
Just everything that happened with Erica was just the worst dialogue.
Yeah, Erica really had nothing to work with this, and like she became like it's like they wanted to make her this like big badass all of a sudden. Like she's not taking anymore. They're bringing the war to Anna. They are. I don't even know anymore. It's all about we're gonna fight this. It was really bad. But specifically, I don't even actually. When I said the line of dialogue, I didn't write the actual line because I just got so mad during the conversation with the lieutenants. Basically, she says she has contacts in the fifth column. They have contacts in the ship, access they don't have, and they are here to do something with the kids, the breeding and stuff. And then we're gonna find out why they're here.
Lord, it's so dumb.
It gave
I
me a
can't even
migraine.
make sense of it.
It gave me a migraine. I was like, why? Why are we? Like you kind of. No, I got nothing. Who this entire podcast, you see me struggle. You see me struggle to try to justify things. And I do my best to try to just say, let me give them the benefit of the doubt. Let me try to find a way to make it work or why to see what they're. I can't do it anymore with that. I can't.
I think a big part of that is just looking at this show. I think it absolutely came out at a bad time in history for a reboot of this show. I think if it was, say, 2016, could have been ample material. No reason.
2020 as well.
I think anytime after 2016, we would have
Yeah,
been
pretty much.
good.
Yeah.
And 2009 just wasn't a very good year.
Mhm.
Um, and additionally, I just think that the people who were writing it either simply didn't care and were just done, not even gonna read it over, or were not the most creative. Because looking at the source material, I don't understand how you make it about breeding unless I think this is someone who is Blair Tifkins. That's her name, right?
Claire
Biggest
Tefkin, yeah.
fan. This is her biggest fan created this show.
Her
They
agent, maybe.
watched me and said, "This
That's what
should
it's
have been
about.
about her." What if they went into their mind palace and said, "But what if
Robin,
Robin?
Elizabeth.
No. What if Robin had wrote the show that was her life?" And that's what this show is.
Oh.
This is as if Robin created it.
Okay. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay. Um, Okay, so Lisa's whole thing up on the ship is that she's starting to show more emotions, and she started to lose her kind of strong. She's not able to keep her emotions in check to the point where Anna starts suspecting something. Anna feels that she's weak, and she directs Joshua to test her by lying about him getting feelings
I'm
back.
confused. Didn't we already see previously that they had a way to test to see if someone was displaying emotion? We've literally
They
seen
did.
it.
Yes, they
She's literally
absolutely
done it.
did.
She literally
Mhm.
failed it.
Right.
We've been here.
And we knew that. Joshua did the test, but he let it go because he was a good guy at the time. Now he's a bad guy again because of mind wiping or whatever, or reset. I guess they have a reset package they use. Um, they reset to factory to factory settings. But even if that's the case, you're telling me that the best idea that you have, Anna, when you reset Joshua to factory settings, is to make him go down the same path that led him to betray you before to
She
find
really
out if
trusts
Lisa
in their
is.
technology, I assume.
Well, yeah, why not just have her take the test again at that point? Like, even if Anna believes she passed, Anna believes she passed the test.
Now, do you think that they remember they already did this?
I
Do you
Either they
think that
don't
they have
remember or they just don't care.
a show Bible?
No, they don't. But they might not have a show Bible. That's true. I I think I told you about. Didn't I tell you I saw there was a show Bible somewhere that like was on eBay. I wasn't about to spend money on it, but I would actually love to get my hands on this show Bible just peruse it. I think we would both have a lot of laughs reading that show Bible together. I'd read it on air just to get your reaction. Uh,
For anyone who is a fan of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, I feel like when Vegeta was on Namek and Goku says, "I'm insane from space," and he just gives up on life.
uh, that's yeah. Giving up on life seems an apt thing to do for watching the show. So Lisa goes to Diana again, and Lisa has basically replaced the Diana Anna talks are now replaced by the Lisa Diana talks. And yet, still, how do you have an actress like Jane Badler, whose character was V in so many ways? She really was. I mean, it was her and Donovan, really, and Ham. Yes, I know. But on that side of things, Diana's histrionics, her whatever, that campiness, that soap opera, that was what she did. And you're just going to stick her in a hole.
And how do you go from that to like, let's make the aliens emotionless?
Yes.
Like, what is the thought process there?
I don't even know. And like Diana's supposed to not be emotionless. She's supposed to be happy about human emotions, but she doesn't really show much herself. And honestly think that's not on Jane Badler. So I think she's actually very good at showing emotions when she needs to, but she doesn't get it. There's just nothing going on to give her any direction. I don't think she knows where to go. I think that's the problem. We don't know where she's going. I'm sure she has no idea where she's going. You can't play a character if you have no through line. Like, I don't know what my motives are. I don't know what my direction is. Like, I'm just here to have these conversations that don't advance anything. I'm saying the same things every week.
Emotions give you power. Emotions give you power. You
The
don't
human soul is
understand.
good.
Emotions give you
The
power.
human
Okay,
soul is
so it
good.
just kind of occurred to me that it is very odd that you have, a female-led society that apparently isn't displaying emotion, and it really feels like the writers are like, "What, ladies, smile more and get pregnant."
Could be. It absolutely could be.
It's a stretch, but I don't know. It's kind of there.
It
There's
is.
just something inherently odd about it.
Yeah. They're trying to write these strong female characters, but they don't come off as anything. They come off as anything but. They come across as just kind of vague, ineffective. We don't know what you're really thinking, but we're gonna put you in charge in the front anyway. Elizabeth Mitchell can kind of pull it off because she's a good performer. I think she does pull it off occasionally. Miranda Baccarin is a good actress as well, but she is stuck in the emotionless side of things, so she can't really pull it off. It's hard to pull off nothing and to pull off emotionless at the same time. I think it's like, where do you go with that as an actor, as a performer? I can't. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what my motivations really are, besides I need to win. I
I guess you
can't
got to come
show
up with like
emotions.
your own background and make it work.
I guess, but then it's hard to do that when you don't get to show emotions because you can't even like hint at that in a way sometimes. I feel bad for her. I feel bad that she looks this way because I think she is actually a very fun performer. She's great in Firefly. She's great in Daredevil. She's great in a lot of different things. She's shown some good range that way, but this is just not. This doesn't work for her or for anybody at this point. All right, what else we got? Okay, so here's another big question mark. Erica sends Chad to Lisa on a mission to find out why the liveaboards have been tortured. There's so many things wrong with that sentence. A.
At this point, I just can't muster enough to care.
We know why liveaboards are being tortured. We don't know specifically why, but it's not actually important why. We know that it's about the breeding thing. We know that this is about the DNA thing, that the stuff that they've already kind of figured out.
And
like,
the soul.
Yes, and the soul part of things. They don't need to, I don't understand what Erica's even looking for now. Because if she knows that, all right, so they worked on her, they're working on a liveaboard, they're trying to get this whatever, take out the DNA so they can put stuff in. If you even said it that way, try to figure out if Lisa knows anything more. I mean, you should have talked to Lisa a billion times about this before, considering she's Anna's daughter and you've been like with her for like the past season and a half, pretty much. But you're going to send up the guy that you barely trust at this point, you're just barely part of the resistance, to go ask Lisa who he doesn't tell Lisa that she's a good guy. Just says, "Oh, tell her I sent you." And I was like, "Oh."
And also having these conversations just on the ship, all exposed in like a hallway,
right in front of everybody, and it's like, now I like the idea of Chad going, "Oh, I want to have an interview with Lisa." Great, good way to get her alone. Good way to get her alone. Let's get her alone in a room and have a conversation. But no, we're going to do it right out in the ship. None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense.
You know what they could have used to more of in this show?
What?
I don't believe I'm saying this. Vents. They could have gone in a vent, had a little privacy.
Revenge of the vents. The vents are looking at you with such a disdain right now. See, I knew you'd miss me. I knew you'd miss me.
I didn't think it'd be possible, but like here I am. I'm in the Poseidon. It wasn't an adventure.
Goes mortal enemy, and she comes crawling back to say you would make it more believable.
Doesn't that show how much of a tragedy this is?
It does. It really does. You're definitely, yes, you're being very eloquent with your statement on that. Okay, so Joshua does test Lisa because he goes by to Lisa, sees her looking into medical information, supposedly, whatever she's doing, because she's doing what Chad told her to do. He doesn't actually look at what she's looking at, and then does the whole like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to go out, and wait for her to come out. And she comes out, and he goes to talk to her about like human emotion, as you like to say, and Lisa doesn't bite. And I'll give credit where credit's due. Laura Vandervoort, I did slander your name throughout the entirety of the pregame for V2009, but you have probably been one of the more consistent performers of the entire show.
Put some respect on that name.
I'm putting respect to the name. You have been given nothing, and you have at least done a credible job of delivering something that's believable, at least, despite everything that working against you. I don't like Joshua being back to factory reset. Like, it's such a waste of a character for me. Like, we spent the first like season kind of like he was our Martin. He was our like Martin from the first season. Like we got to like, okay, so he is our guy that's on the inside. It's a good guy.
I feel like that doing that was kind of like their way of being petty. Like, oh, you think this is like the original? It's not because it's
Right.
worse.
Sorry. Curveball. And it actually made me annoyed. It actually makes me more annoyed when he's around. I feel like maybe if we had gotten a third season, maybe that's the idea was that's the storyline I was gonna go with them. Like they would have relearned the human
Yeah,
relationship
but then again,
again.
that's that thing I mentioned before that I just don't like, which is take a step back just to get back to status quo.
I fully agree, and I
I mean,
fully
at
agree with
least
you.
it's not like, done within an episode or 3, at least it's like a
Right.
season arc, but,
Still
still.
pretty, yeah, no, still pretty poor because like at that point it's like, well, so yeah, we're getting back to where we were in episode 1. Great, awesome. Um, but either way, I almost feel like I wish he just died. I honestly wish Josh had. I'm sorry, Mark Hildreth, not your fault. You're innocent, and I'm glad you had a couple more paychecks. I get to come back and be evil Joshua, but it
I'm
does not.
telling you, now what was Martin's twin's name?
Philip,
Philip?
Martin
No, it's
Phillips. Yeah,
Philip.
he's Philip. He is Philip now. Then Philip went good. So like it's all it's kind
Right?
of bizarre.
If they had made him Joshua's twin, honestly, I would have had a lot more respect for it.
Honestly, I would have too. Because the thing is, what people don't get is yes, that is a cheesy thing. Yes, it's absolutely the worst thing you can do in almost any show at this point because it's so stereotypical, so
I
archetype,
mean,
so like
just if
crap.
they're good, just be a soap. Just
But
be a soap.
right
There's
at
a
this point,
reason soaps have like 12 million episodes because people like them.
give me a winking nod at yourself, even know that you're doing that, and like say, okay, yeah, we know this was a bad decision back in the day, so we're gonna kind of double down on it and like you're in on it with us. But it can't do that because it thinks this show thinks it's fucking like award winning like storytelling. Because I really feel like they think they're doing a good job.
Oh, really?
I
That's
do.
tragic.
I know, right? I think that's the way it is, though. I do think they feel confident in their storytelling, and they should not. Uh,
I've definitely watched movies and tend not to like them where I'm like, this person thinks they're the smartest person on green earth. And yeah.
so here comes the next bit that just really freaking annoyed me. We have Kyle and Erica going to go after the doctor who worked on all the mothers and her, trying to find out what's going on even more, or whatever at this point. Shocker, we found out she's a visitor. And then they find all this information now and they get the safe. But here's the thing.
I feel like it's all information we already knew.
That's part of my problem. Like this whole thing, like at this point, like I understand that there might be deeper plans, but these plans are all so interrelated. Even if you find out like another little detail, you're not any detail they're finding out more does not change their motivation at all, or really their understanding of it. They know it's about they're changing tires so you can insert their code. They're trying to breed these women. They're trying to do. They know all this stuff. What does it do to learn like the why or the details? How like that all doesn't matter. They got to stop it either way. Like so, you're basically wasting time trying to like answer questions that you don't even really need the answer to. You know enough to know. Okay, this is bad. We don't want them breeding with us. We have to stop them. Worry about the resistance part of things that like building an army and trying to fight back instead of worrying about like the minutest details of the entire plan. It's like they have to have like the entire plan written down from point A to point Z before they can actually act on it. I feel like that's like the it's a fallback. But even worse than that, I can kind of get away with that a little bit. I can go, okay, that's your plan, fine. You want to find out more, fine. Then they're going to introduce this really lame bad sexual tension between Tina Hobbs and Erica. Her
Oh, I
husband.
didn't see that at all.
Oh, really? Oh, it's bad.
But
It's
I also
bad.
should say my notes around this part read, I don't care. I'm so bored. I hate it here. Don't
There
care. I hate this. So I
after
think I just was really checked out. Oh, I wrote you at one point.
That might be what it was then. Maybe that's what it was. Because the visitor lady doctor throws herself off the building and bites the capsule and whatever, she dies. They go look for the tools. They go to find the safe. When they're underneath the safe, they have this thing where he's trying to insert something and she starts to help insert something. Yes, exactly my point. This is you're getting it now. This is the metaphor they're going with. And they have this like shared pause, like, are you saying what I think you're saying kind of thing? And they actually seem to be showing some kind of all of a sudden they're attracted to each other. That's how it came across. And I can swear to you that's what it is. And I'm sitting there thinking, her husband just fucking died last episode. Like,
people who lose a spouse tend to get remarried very quickly. It's a statistical fact.
Maybe it just came across very piss poor, especially considering how these characters have been with each other. Although at the same time, I guess I will admit that earlier on, Kyle.
I mean, you could have that. I fucking hate you. Sexual tension.
Yeah, again,
They
don't. Right.
That's the thing.
Right. This is why it comes. I said this comes off very lame and comes off very poor, and it doesn't ring true for Erica's character. As we've seen Erica.
I don't think it rings true for his because who's Sarah again?
Yeah, that's a good question. We don't know. I don't know who Sarah is. He's someone important in his life. I don't know if it's a sister, is like adopted. I don't know who she is at this point still. It all comes across very poor. And I'm like, oh, this feels like an unnecessary thing. And I feel like it's a studio note. Let's get some romance in here or something like that. Maybe that's what it kind of felt like. Because we haven't had any romance in the entire show, really, besides
which is actually, I will give them credit for that. But, well, almost, because if it wasn't the whole, let's have women be vessels for babies plot.
Okay. What else we got? Oh, Ryan shows up and confronts Jack. Oh, Ryan's alive. Okay. I was like, all right, Ryan's alive. Great to know. I will say, the credit where credit's due. One line of dialogue I liked in the episode when Jack again. Joel Gretsch has his moments, especially at the show. And I should say that Joel Gretsch is actually a good actor, but you can only do so much with this show. He took the one line and ate it up, and that was "I'm not a priest anymore, Ryan. It's not my job to absolve you." And like that, it hit well for me. Good job, Joel Gretsch. I'm trying so hard to get.
There's some actors that can just read anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, who would elevate this show?
Who?
Clancy Brown. James Earl Jones.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Morgan Freeman.
I'm going to name him Ed Harris.
Ed Harris.
Absolutely.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Did I ever tell you that? I don't know if I ever told you this, that my dream, I went back in the day, True Detective, before having season 3, they're changing up things. I had a dream and pitched it that it was going to be Ed Harris and Nick Cage together as the leads of True Detective.
That would be nice.
I would love that. That'd be fun. That would be fun. All right. Let's see what else I got in here. I got nothing. Lisa calls Chad and tells them the info that they have. It just here's you know what you say? What do you call him? Sexy science man? Is that what you call him? I'm sorry, I dismissively called him Sci Boy in my notes because I don't remember.
Is it because you also don't know his name?
I don't know his name. I have no idea. Now you know the show's getting bad because I'm usually telling you the name. I have no idea what his name is. Sci Boy, I call him.
This is a tragedy.
States they need humans alive to fast track their own evolution. Okay, so again,
it's giving Nazi.
It's giving Nazi, but again, it also goes back to what I said earlier. And the fact is, like, this seems like unnecessarily like minutia to information you pretty much already knew. You're still interbreeding. Isn't that supposed to be like changing your evolution? Like, isn't that kind of an assumed answer? Like, if you tell me the problem is their goal is to interbreed, isn't your response? Isn't your like figure? What is your conclusion that they're changing the revolution? Why is this like a revelation of any kind? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just doesn't work. And at this point, where they're just saying the same things over and over again, they're just using slightly different words.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's that they're using smarter, sciencey words, or like Cyboy say it so it sounds smarter. They're basically trying to confirm what we already know again for like the third or fourth time, and it's like,
I feel like you
okay,
lowballed that number
I did. I
a
definitely
lot.
lowballed the number. What else we got here? Oh, we do get a big moment between Lisa and Anna, where
After Lisa and Raphael, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
that's right. They Lisa tries to do her job, can't do it because she's showing that what do we call it? Human emotion, and is in love with Tyler, I guess.
I also
Uh,
don't feel like it's whatever.
no, go
It's
ahead.
just it's such a weird show. It's so uncomfortable.
Mm, yeah, I don't disagree. But we do get the Lisa Anna moment, which I actually did like. I liked seeing Lisa finally backhand Mama. Unfortunately, she just backs down right after and apologizes and grovels. And it's, of course, they think this is where the writers think they're being clever again. Instead of Anna, like, going full out, whatever, revengeful or, dominating, she's going to say, "It's okay, Lisa. You're finally becoming a bitch," basically, is what I got from the writers. Because that's what women are to these writers. If you're strong and powerful, you are a bitch. That's what it felt like to me. Um, and I'm not even someone who notices this kind of stuff more. I'm not the kind of guy that notices all this stuff before. Like you've opened my eyes to a lot of these things sometimes, but
Yeah, it's just uh,
weak. It's weak sauce.
it is indeed.
So, we forgot the. Oh, so another part of the thing I kind of forgot. I almost forgot to say. Anna is questioning Lisa, and we find out that we have a queen egg as a backup. Anna has a lot of backups all of a sudden out of nowhere that we
I'm
can use
real
as leverage.
confused about this queen egg thing.
I am so there with you. Why? Where we had
So
all
you
these
think
eggs
like she had an egg, but it's clearly already been
there,
like fertilized. Like this
right?
is a egg that should. How do you? She just keep it frozen, but won't the cells degrade? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, did we have this egg before the soldiers or after the soldiers? When is this? How long has this been around? Is this a bigger egg? Is this like been around for a while, for a long time?
That's what I got the sense that she's just held on to it for years.
Yeah. And how does that even work? Again, I guess, and sometimes you don't need the answer. If it's good enough writing, you can kind of accept things and go, okay, but I can't accept this. This is just dumb. And we
And
know that, well, it's basically, if Lisa is bad, if Lisa is not what she wants, she can replace Lisa by hatching the egg. So she gets to choose to hatch the egg, and she might be able to experiment on her and to use like the Camino cloning power and age them up. And but not quite because they're not. It's not quite there. So they have to. Then all of a sudden becomes experimenting on unnamed hybrid baby because that works because the hybrid is more visitor than human. And I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble. But the experiments heal the hybrid from, so she no longer needs Anna's bliss.
but Anna no longer needs either of
Right.
them, so
Anna no longer
it's
needs
an
that.
even trade.
Right. Um,
So in the next episode, if both of them aren't dead, I'm gonna be mad about it.
I agree, but it's not going to happen yet. It should happen a long time ago in this way, but it feels like and what a waste of an actor and what a waste of a character. And I keep saying this about every show. Morris Chestnut, wonderful actor, got nothing to do. And here we are at the end of the season, towards the end of season 2. And we're kind of like, if he died, what was his even purpose in the show? We don't know. It made no sense. And it's quick, easy, and done. We've already forgotten the mother. I don't even remember her name anymore. I don't
Valerie.
remember. Valerie, that's right. See, you remember her name and I don't. That's what we're. I knew it started with a V. It's about all I got. I think Victoria. No, it's not Victoria. It's Valerie. But I think we end the episode, and you can come up with any notes that you have left to talk about. The only last thing we have to talk about is Lisa and
Gave Diana a
Diana.
glowy blue ball.
A glowy blue ball. That's right.
Like,
Lisa
they
gave her
had
blue
to
balls.
know.
And then Diana has the smirk on her face. And I want to believe, and I don't know the show, I want to believe that, like, the right thing, the cool swerve would have been that Diana is actually, like, a bad guy still and trying to use Lisa just to take over the spot. But I don't think the writers are good enough to do that.
No.
But you're the same boat. Okay, so we're on the same boat from that. That's what I wanted that to be. I think that's what Jane
Yeah, they're
Basler wants
definitely
it to
doing
be.
like villain, like suspense music, face holding on a little too long before they
Right.
cut away. Yeah, they're definitely trying to set her up like visually that she's a villain. They did
Right.
the visual villain shot.
Absolutely. And Jane Basler, maybe I think she wants to be villainous. I think she wants to go that route. Yeah. So I don't know. Anything else that I missed on this episode?
No, it was boring. So boring.
It's so bad. I liked last episode, and even at the end, even after Lego like badgered me and shot me down and was chopping me down like a tree, killing my
I feel
any
like I
love I
just
had
said
for it,
a lot.
killing my joy.
Wow, I
I
thought I
actually,
was dramatic.
I guess I'm being dramatic. At the end of the episode, I still actually like that episode, and I still think it's my favorite of the series, at least after season 2. And this one went completely back into shitstorm for me again. So, unsurprisingly, I am back with Lego on this. We are on the train. We have 3 episodes left, 8, 9, and 10, and then we're done. We're almost there. I can almost taste the freedom. If you guys have hung out with us this long, you deserve something. I don't know what it is. Um, but think about it. Let me know in the comments what you think you deserve for sticking with the show as long as we have. And let us know what we deserve because we're actually bringing this to you. And you know what? I think we're at least amusing you with our hatred. So that's where we're going to end it tonight. Where can the folks find you?
I could be found on Instagram, on YouTube at The Unhinged Binge, or on YouTube and Letterboxd at Lego Rants. I think for Letterboxd there might be an underscore between Lego and Rants, but if you figured out how to spell my name, you get a gold star.
Gold star. There you go. All right. You can find me all over this channel. As my other co-host, Manny, says, my name is on the tin. So I have a lot of podcasts on the show. I do Star Wars podcast called Holy Snokes with Maddie Gunner. Every week we're talking, actually, by the time you hear this, we're going to be into Andor already. So season 2 of Andor, we're covering that. You can see me and PJ Campbell doing 2 Middle-Aged Geeks on Film, where we are right now covering the Superman films. And that's been a lot of fun going through them on patreon.com/PLD Projects. You can see us doing our MCU watch through. That won't be on the main channel until probably till December, the way I'm going at this point. So you can have them way early. But if you are on Patreon, you might be watching this episode early because I recorded this a lot earlier than we usually do. And I'm putting up both the last episode, which is about Siege, this episode about birth pangs, are going to go up the day we recorded them or the night we recorded them. And so you're getting that stuff early as well. If you can't do that, though, I get it. I totally understand. Trust me, I understand. But you can help other ways, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Help us fight the evil algorithm. Our podcast as well. You see the channel. You see what I do. I hope you enjoy us. I hope we are giving you some modicum of entertainment. And I honestly think we're more entertaining than the show itself, which says something. But we're getting close, and we're going to have some fun with the other show we got going on after this season is done. We're going to be doing, like I said, the Big Finish audio stuff, which is a remake and update of the original V with Kenneth Johnson, the creator Kenneth Johnson's input. So we know at least we're getting back to good storytelling because we know that the basic story is good, at least. And we're also going to do some adjacent episodes, some review adjacent episodes where we review something or dig deep on something that makes sense to be connected to V, whether that
We're
be
getting into our
thematically,
spin-off era.
spin-off era. That's right, thematically, like Independence Day. We're gonna cover stuff from our favorite actors from V. Like we're gonna definitely do the Watchers and Watchers 2 double feature for Mark Singer and Michael Ironside. All sorts of fun stuff like that. And I'm doing
And
this
Fright Night 2, which
Fright Night 2.
features PLD's favorite character from the original series in '84. And this is my retribution.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Oh God.
It also has Blair Tefkin in it.
All right, we definitely have to cover it. We definitely have to cover it. That's for sure. I haven't watched Fright Night 2 in I don't even know how long.
I watch it pretty
No,
regularly.
that does not shock me in the least. So, but look at that. What you got to look forward to, folks. That's gonna be a lot of fun. So stick with us. We're almost there. Yeah, that's it. We're done. We'll see you next time here where we cover the 8th episode of the season. I don't even know what the name of it is. I don't even care anymore. Love you. Peace.